Hello, Cherie Hanson here. We're having sunshine. See that big halo back there on my wall? I just welcome you to my YouTube channel and to my videos, and I would ask you to please like and subscribe to the videos that you are seeing. It will help them spread out into the world, and the goal that I'm looking at is to short circuit the long, tortuous path to a happy way of existing. That is my goal. Today in meditation, what came to me was how important it is to fall off of the mountain, to lose the path, to be lost. When we come across this in our lives, and I speak for myself, it's very threatening. It feels like you're not safe. And this is the interesting thing about spiritual practice, is the most growth for me in my life has been when I was totally lost. Because we are like barnacles. We cling to the rock of the known and the secure and the repetitive life. We cling to that with everything in us until something comes along to knock us off, to pry us loose. And then we have this sensation of falling away, losing, not being able to see clearly, not understanding. What is this? What is happening to me? And it's in those moments and in those times in our life when we are being forcibly pried loose from our old habits, our old rituals, our old beliefs, our old paradigm, our old concept of who we are, and our old concept of how we must move through the world. And what happens in those times is we are forced to surrender. We are forced into a state of submission. And it feels like loss. It is loss. We're having our old, comfortable nest that we've built with the sticks and the threads and the various things that we found on the ground, and we've woven it together, and we're in that, and it's so secure, we think, that we make no attempt to learn more or to go out and explore and find the thing that is beyond the world we live in now. One of the ways people do this is by finding a group. So they surround themselves with a group who have a belief system. And I'll tell you, my various tribes or groups in my life were very interesting. When I was in high school, we were the rejects, the weird things that needed to be taken off the production line because they didn't look like everything else. And we ended up in the art room at lunchtime, creating the things that we created. We weren't understood. We were not useful. And I think that was the basic difficulty, is we weren't useful to the paradigm. We weren't useful to the groups that were forming in high school, the jocks, the people who supported the jocks, the people that were in what was a group that supported consumerism, status, competition, and it didn't attract us. So we were already ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying? You look back at it and you go like, oh my God, it was horrible. I was so strange. I was so outside. But that in itself was a gift to me, because that allowed me to be someone who is contemplative and who is observant and who is looking at the social groupings and the paradigms and the choices in belief systems. Then I get buried into various things. I get buried into, being a teacher in the public school system. How do you dress? How do you conduct yourself? What are your values? What choices do you have? And those are all now limited to being in the group. So you are behaving in a way that will make you somebody acceptable for the group that you are in, until you get lost, until you have an illness or a divorce or a shattering of your shell of protection. And it's at those times when we go really, really deep, when we are spinning out of control, when we are falling into grief, when we don't know who we are, that's when the transformations take place. That's when we are totally open to the messages that we're receiving from the universe. And it's a glorious thing. It really is. We say to someone, when they say, I don't know who I am, the Buddhist answer to that is, congratulations. You don't know who you are because you are no longer who you were. You are moving into being something else. And as I was sitting Wim Hof meditation today, sometimes what happens, I don't seek anything. I am in submission to the meditation, and I just watch and hear what's coming in. And sometimes I just get flooded with so much gratitude. It's like that light. It just hits me. It just radiates through me. It is a sense of all of the times in my life when I have been lost, confused, suffering, disappointed, and feeling this sense of transformation, which is so uncomfortable. Oh my God, it's uncomfortable. We just want to go along, like, I'm on my path, it's all this. And then something will knock you off of it. And that's the universe coming in and saying to you, you are more than that. You are more powerful than that. You are more purposeful than that. And I had a friend who used to always say to me, give your head a shake. It just cracked me up. Because those are the times when you are plunged into aloneness, into solitary place of not knowing, that your head is given a shake. And your way of seeing the world shifts. It totally changes. We're in that now. We're in that right now. Oh, Instagram and Facebook went down. Oh, my world is destroyed. No, your paradigm is being destroyed. That's all. And so the thing that is really exciting for me is to understand that we don't have to work so hard. The universe knows where we're supposed to be growing. The universe knows when it's time to get on another path. And this idea of loving your fate, fate amore, is so good that the Stoics talk about. In the moment when you are being sucked out into deep space, maybe you have your spacesuit on so you'll survive. But if you're being sucked out and you can say, oh, okay, something wonderful is about to emerge. I am being transformed. So that is a way of going through things that makes it easier. I often think about the scene from Tess of the D'Urbervilles where the maids shine the table. There's a large table that they all eat at, and it's very rough hewn, but because it has been polished and rubbed and cleaned so many times, it now has a sheen to it. And I think about that for myself. Yes, I have been sanded. Yes, I have been the splinter sticking up and dangerous to other people because of my splinters. But the universe has also cleaned and rubbed and corrected and led me places that I could have never imagined as I was standing on the threshold of adulthood as a 20-year-old. Never, never imagined. So today I wanted to say to you, embrace those moments when you don't know what the hell is going on. Because that is when you are shifting. The best thing you can do for yourself in your life is to stop fear. Stop the fear of being lost. That just means you're off of your old path and you're about to find a new one. And it will be better if you're not in fear. Trust the universe. Thank you. Thank you for liking or subscribing to my videos. I do individual coaching because I have a clear channel. I have a hell of a lot of wisdom. You get that way. There's lots of polishing. And I would like to help you shorten the journey to manifesting the radiant light of who you came to earth to be, who you are meant to be, and not an actor on a stage trying to fit in to something. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.